Asylum, a movie from Britain in the mid-1950s. Here, I'll represent the full story from start till the end. But before we head towards the story, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon to never miss any crazy update from Black Slate Studios. The story describes a character, Stella Raphael, role-played by Natasha Richardson, the exhausted and unfulfilled spouse of Max, role-played by Hugh Bonneville, a therapist who is working at a far-off mental asylum. Not stopped by Edgar's savage past, Stella is boggled by Edgar's energy and the issue escalates. In spite of the fact that Max presumes nothing, Dr. Peter Cleve, role-played by Sir Ian McKellen, accurately surmises that the two are seeing one another. Separate, who is focused on Stella himself, endeavors to get Edgar to concede to the undertaking, without much of any result. Edgar, who has been denied a discharge, can take it no more and breaks out of the asylum. Edgar's analysis is extreme behavioral condition, with provisions of grim envy. With the excellent economy, the film in the long run applies the determination of pretty much everybody in it aside from little Charlie, who is excessively trusting, and not simply of Edgar. There are bunches of scenes, including British jokes, who are sharp-looking, yet unobtrusively upsetting insights regarding their haberdashery and styles of smoking. They sit or remain across work areas from each other and trade specialized language that deciphers as, "I disdain you and your sort." Meanwhile, the cinematographer, Giles Nutkins, makes the Haven into a spot so huge, bleak, and premonition that we suspect might be Eyes with No Face is being shot somewhere else nearby. Anyway, in continuation with the story, Stella endeavors to proceed with existence without her darling, playing mother to her child, Charlie, and spouse to Max. Around Christmas time, she gets a call from a companion of Edgar, who orchestrates a meeting in London. The same issue resumes with Stella utilizing shopping trips as an appearance for her excursions to the city. Edgar, before long, tires of the deception it was just as imparting Stella's sexual considerations to Max, and requests that she decides to remain with him forever or not return for another visit. Presently, Cleve stands up to her, telling her that he realizes that she has been going to London to see Edgar. After fruitlessly endeavoring to menace Stella into uncovering his whereabouts, Cleve advises her that Max can have her focused on the clinic. Stella then, at that point, flees to join Edgar, and they start a free, to some degree bohemian coexistence, staying out of the public eye inspired by a paranoid fear of the police. Before long, the desire of the relationship starts to wear off, and Stella starts to see a hazier side to Edgar's character. He becomes fixated on his work, to Stella's dismay. He likewise begins to become forceful and vicious towards her, heightening her apprehension about him. Subsequent to shopping one day, Stella gets back to the pair's abhorrent studio level, to be found by the police and returned to her better half and child. Her significant other battles to excuse her, yet acknowledges that their child needs a mother figure. Edgar notices Stella's catch from the shadows and escapes. Max, who has lost his situation at the clinic, acknowledges a new position and moves the family to Wales. Stella battles to settle once more into ordinary existence with her family, making a decent attempt to offer reparations with her child. Edgar finds her, and a concise gathering with him brings about his catch. This sends Stella further into her discouraged and diverted state. On a school trip with Charlie a little while later, Stella removes her child from the class educator, and different youngsters were also part of the trip, and they all go into the forest together. Stella roosts on a stone while Charlie looks for fish through his hook in the waterway. He unexpectedly loses his balance, falling into the waterway, and due to the reason he didn't know how to swim, he starts to suffocate. Not seeing, Stella stays in a daze and watching Charlie and not moving to help him. The class educator shows up and puts some effort to help him. However, Charlie is now dead. Stella is anguished over this, and following this injury, her better half and Dr. Cutt conclude that she should be systematized. She is taken to a similar asylum where she met Edgar. Obscure to Stella, Edgar is as yet held there. With the assistance of steady medicine and care, Stella improves. However, she never completely recuperates. She acknowledges Dr. Divide's proposal of a steady relationship, causing him a deep sense of pleasure after he educates her that Max needs a separation. At the yearly ball, where male and female patients are allowed to mingle, Stella is restless to impart a dance to Edgar and frantically anticipates seeing him. Obscure to her, Dr. Cut forbids Edgar from going to the ball, bragging that he and Stella are to be hitched. Dr. Cut later advises Stella that Edgar won't join in. As a medical caretaker accompanies patients back to their rooms, Stella sneaks off up a flight of stairs, prompting the rooftop. Before anybody sees that she has disappeared, Stella hops off the rooftop pinnacle to the yard underneath. However, she doesn't pass on right away. Dr. Divide hurries to her guide, yet she dismisses his assistance, saying, "Let me be." He pulls back from her, and she kicks the bucket from her wounds a second after the fact. In the last scene, Max visits the graveyard where Stella has been covered close to their child. He puts a bouquet on Charlie's grave, eliminates one blossom, and places it on the grave of his better half. Thank you for watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Comment down the next movie you want to be described. See you in the next video.